Hello, this is Sonia from Sonia's Mixed Media, and I'm back here showing part 2 of all my art journals and sketchbooks that I've kept throughout the years. And this is my next batch. And if you haven't watched part 1, go back, do that first. Or watch it after you've watched this one. But I did mention in the first part that I haven't grouped all the categories together. This is a mishmash of my collage, my sketchbooks, my watercolor journals. It's just everything I've ever done sort of thing in the one video to hopefully give those of you some ideas of trying something new perhaps that you haven't done before. So let's get to it, and they'll be in no particular order, although we will start with this top one. So this one's a really cute one, and this is a book that I think I actually finished. And I don't finish many art journals. So this, of course, as it says, is August 2013. Wow. I look at that and I think, wow. I've been, mucking around doing art for a long time. This is definitely not the first journal I ever did. But this again is an Every Boy's annual, and the cover is starting to come off, so I need to tape that. But I bought this book because I like the hardcover and I liked the paper inside it. It's sort of like a nice, and it's not glossy, it's very matte and dry sort of paper, so it's easy to stick things on. So that's why I bought this book, and it's a little bit Tisha Moore style. I think it was Tisha Moore. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but she's the one that, again, going back many years ago, was all over YouTube. And I know I watched many of her videos, and she did a lot of journals where she made these awesome borders on her pages just out of collage, and then she would doodle on the collage. And so that's what I've done here. Like this one here, for instance, these were just like a plant or cells or something on a collage picture, and I just sort of doodled them to kind of look like little tadpole type, wormy type things. And you just doodle words, and I actually painted these legs on to make my mermaid, and it's just a journal page about swimming, basically, because I'm a non-swimmer. I don't swim. I don't like saying I can't swim. I can swim if I try really hard. And it probably takes me about 2 hours of practicing before I can actually stay afloat. So I'm a really bad swimmer. And yeah, being an Aussie and saying you're a bad swimmer is like, what? But yeah, I'm really bad. So I wouldn't say I can't, but I'm bad at it. And so this is just about wishing that I was a good swimmer. And yeah, you basically collage and you change the heads on things and, do all this whimsical stuff. And I really love looking back on this book. It makes me really happy when I look at it. And yeah, it's just happy times. I love all the colours in it. I used a lot of collage, acrylic paints. Looks like I used Posca markers and Sharpies. And yeah, you could cut out clothes of someone, draw the actual person, or paint over the face of the person so it looks like a drawing, and then doodle their clothes. Yeah, it was just a really fun journal. And looking back at this, it makes me want to do this again. And that's why it's so great to keep all of your journals, even though you might not be into something, 5 years later. If you look back on it, you might go, you know what, that looks so awesome. I might try that again. Or let's see if my talent has got any better or worse, or I've got different ideas now. Or you could, like for instance, this was a doodle page that I did, and you know, I could make another piece of art out of these characters here. So this I remember was from a book I bought from an artist. Again, can't remember their name, sorry, but she does doodle art with blobs of paint and blobs of collage, and she makes them into monsters or dogs, and she looks at sidewalk cracks in the ground and takes a picture of it, and then when she gets home she makes an elephant out of it, or whatever comes to her mind when she looks at it. It's all about playing with your imagination, and that's what I did with these. These were just blobs that I then painted with watercolor and added pencil and Posca and doodling over the top, and they're so cute. And these, you know, I just made these into houses and plants and things. So it's just a bit of art. And then this was a napkin page when everyone was into making art with napkins. I don't know, does everyone still do that? I haven't watched a lot of art journaling videos for a while. I need to catch up. But everyone went napkin crazy, and I know I did. I've got like a stack of this of printed napkins sitting in my art drawer. So I just put napkin down and then I painted over the top of it, and I think I was learning Jane Davenport style at the time. I remember I did a few Jane Davenport classes, so that's where this is all coming in, these mermaids. And I've circled the word here, crab sandwiches. I don't know. That must have, it's a piece of paper I've cut out and it's underneath. Yeah, it just worked with the page, I guess. Yeah, some art, I think, what was this? This was a pony or something that I turned, and some horses I turned into unicorns, and then I drew this girl that was sort of hugging her unicorn while riding it, and gave her this collage tail. Yeah. Enjoy your differences. This is all about, if I can remember, about my two beautiful daughters and how different they are from each other, but I love them just the same. And yeah, just cut out the words here, timeless wisdom, and yeah, got the collage dogs on here, and then changed the eyes to human eyes. Did a little drawing here. And then we have this one. This was like, you know, parents always need to have a pair of roller skates because you have to do 100 things. I mean, 2013, what's that? This is 9 years ago, so my kids would have been in the early teenage years. Like about 12, 13, something like that. So yeah, I would have felt like I needed roller skates, doing all their out of school things, projects and sports that they were into. So this was always two favourite pages of mine, just because I love this girl that I drew here having her cup of tea, and it's just favourite things, you know. Vintage images are my favourite things. Birds, men in suits, so I drew some men in suits, butterflies, nature, craft, movies, home, art, flowers, the sky, game night, dogs. They're all still my favourite things. Journals, sketchbooks. Again, another It's Okay to Play. So this was all about doodling and collage and just playing. And this is a short letter to my 60-year-old self, and it says travel, and I have got to travel. I've been to Europe for 2 months, so very happy with that, and I'm about to go on a cruise with my husband in October, so I'm getting that ticked off my list. Eat what you want, when you want, and most importantly, travel your ass off. And yeah, so I'm glad that I am doing that. Square up your life. So this was all about squares, basically. Just a bit of art there. Count your blessings. I have the fairy tale. Again, these are some doodles that I made into little characters. Don't forget your past. This is this was by a different artist. I cannot remember her name. It might have been Macy or something like that on YouTube, and she did this style with the ripped paper and then painting over it, and yeah, so I did this. I come from a house that is very old. It wasn't wooden like that, but it was made of stone. A very, very old house is where I grew up in. So that's that one. And then this is just the song, you know, the one, lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming of the things we could be. No more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. So that was my favourite song at the time. Yep, and just cut out this lady and then just painted over the top of her to make it look more like an illustration. And then I did this long one here. Everyone has a dark side, so we've got the dark shadow of the angel. And then I got this one here. I think this was Tisha Moore who was doing this, where she was doing human bodies and putting like animal heads on top. I got it from somewhere, so it's got therapy's expensive, do this instead, so meaning create art. And then yeah, I've got another one here, enjoy the art journey. So again, I've got one of these doodle heads on a human body. And then this was the very last page, so I completed it. Dream to be different. And I made this creature here up, this bird with the big eye. So I was really happy with that one. And I think that's the trick to having art journals, is if you're like me, and I mean looking back now, and you don't finish a lot of them, I think the trick is perhaps to keep the pages limited. Don't get a huge book with like 100 pages in it. Get a book with like 20 pages. If you think you can reasonably do 20 pages, pick one that's only got 15 pages, because you know the chances of actually finishing it, yeah, in my case, not likely. Okay, so the next one we'll go to is this one. This is a really fun one, and I remember making this, I think it might have been last year, could have been the year before. But they're all collage, they're all pre-painted papers that I did, and then every page has, at the top, has a head on there, which I've then added paint and doodling to. So Posca pen and paint. Yeah, so these are all the heads, and I've, you know, doodled all over the top of them. And they're stuck together because they haven't been open for a while. So it's really cute images here. And then I have the middle of bodies here. So basically it's like one of those kids flip books where you can change the head to have a different body. So this sort of thing. And then of course the legs, and all of them have been doodled on, you know, added to. And I got this idea from someone on YouTube. It might have been Caged Fish. She does a lot of collage ideas and makes books and journals and things. If you look back on her video, so it could have been from her. But yeah, just, oh, this is a chicken head. So yeah, it's just one of those flip books that you can play with. Look at this one. There's a guy with this top on and some lovely skirt and some shoes on there. So it's really fun and vibrant, and I just had a lot of fun. It's not something that I would use, but I just had fun making it, and sometimes it's just about the process of making something. It's just fun doing it, and that's what this is. I keep it up on my shelf in my craft room, and I just have it open to, you know, a page like that or something, and yeah, every so often I change the page, but yeah, so that's that one. Okay, so now I've got a sketchbook. This was a moleskin sketchbook, and again I did a lot of those. I was talking in my last video about Peter draws, and he does a lot of this sort of black ink work, doodle line work. So I did a bit of that in here. I'll just flip through that quickly. So these are all my own designs, but based on, you know, how Peter draws, does his style. 2015, make it count. So yeah, just a lot of doodling. And this is really good when you're stuck for like a style of art and you just want to do something you just don't know. So you just start doodling and you just add more and more and more to your doodle, and it doesn't have to be anything. Then I did these worms, and then I stopped that and I did a graphite sketch of the end of a flowering pod plant thing. 2016. And then we got November 2018. I picked up my sketchbook again and I started these pictures here. And if you don't like creepy, scary things, don't look. I don't think they're too creepy, but some people might think they're pretty creepy. And these are from the style of Ken, I think it's Ken Mortensen. Oh, I think that's correct. He's on Instagram and he draws like a lot of monsters and scary things, monsters, witches, in this style with the line work. And I just love him. So I practiced his style, and that's what a lot of my sketchbooks and art books are about. It's either a class I've taken or a style I'm trying to replicate. Yeah, because still at 45 years old, I haven't found my own style, or I don't know. I find something that I'm good at, like I really loved doing these, and then I just stop and I change, and I don't know why, and I wish I would just stick to it and become fantastic at it. Like I love this, like love it. So these are all my own creations. I haven't copied his at all. I want to say that they're not copied. They're all my own designs, out of my own head, but it's in his drawing style. So this is Timmy's Magic Show. I'm never good at drawing people. Poor old Timmy, can you see him? He's so funny. And yeah, he's got this monster coming out of his magician's hat. And he's, oh dear, it's making me laugh. I think he's frightened himself. Okay, this is my very hideous witch, and she's making this girl levitate. I don't know where this is all in the back of my mind. Can you believe it? All this scary stuff. This is a witch hovering over this cabin in the woods. Yeah, imagine if there was a huge witch like breathing over your cabin. We got a couple of ghosty figures here. So it. I love how I've done this line work just with the black ink pen. Love it. I just love it. And I don't know why I stopped. Should I go back to it? Let me know. What do you think of these? I love this one. This is Spider on the toilet. I should have maybe I wanted the spider to look huge because I did this one because my eldest daughter, she is terrified of spiders, and whenever there's a spider, say in the bathroom on the ceiling, it could be the smallest, tiniest little spider, and she will scream and she will not go in the shower until my husband's come or I've come and got the spider down and got rid of it. She's just petrified of them, and they're so small. But I just thought it would be hilarious, like if a spider was in the toilet one time. After she'd been to the toilet, she realised there was a spider in it. So I drew this huge spider coming out the toilet. Oh, I had so much fun doing this one. I started in another journal, so these two I've just popped in here, but here's just a little, I think he was a warm-up character that I did. He's so cute. And then this one, I think, yeah, again, this is the first one I ever did, and I think I didn't copy it from Ken Mortison's images, but it's similar to something he had, I think. Something with a clown and a girl. So this is different, slightly different, but yeah, it's very much it, sort of, isn't it? Here's the drain. Spider. Then we have this guy. He's coming out the mirror, legs first. And an awful Jack in the Box. Because, yeah, you really want to see that coming out the box, don't you? Oh, Dracula. Love him. And I remember I didn't pre-draw these with pencil or anything. I just went straight in with the pen and just, yeah, just really loved it. Another spider one with the girl on the swing. Here we have these bat creature people that are coming down from this ocean onto the camping grounds on this island where they're all having a lovely camping time. Oh, this one, I don't know, this one was just in the back of my head, and I think this is, what's this dude called? Is it Slim Man or something like that? There's this legend about this man in black or something. Yeah, this was just in the back of my mind. This came out. A clown. I don't know where his arms are gone. They're gone back inside the bike. And then we have this creature here. And we got this fella here. This is the back of a girl. Yeah, and he's about to grab her. And we have this guy here. He's, I don't know what he is. Oh, I remember doing this one. This is the witch or the hag coming through the window at night. Yeah, that's always a scary thing, isn't it? And this dude, he's my insect man he loves plants. So he's keeping his plant alive with his drool coming down. Then we have, you know, this figure with the poor boy asleep in his chair. This is very Ken Mortison. I can see that in the way I've done the chair and the boy sleeping. You know, he would draw something like this. And then I went and I changed and I drew carrot people. It was a course on drawing carrots, like funny shaped carrots, and that would be a figure of a person. And then I went to this style, which is scribble style, such as a pot with plants in it. And then I stopped again. So I've got plenty left in this moleskin book, so I might have a go at doing these scary pictures again because I love looking back at those. So I think I'm going to do that. What do you think? You know, tell me in the comments, like or hate. Okay, the next one is an art journal, and I put this wall on here, and I've got a shell and some beads on there, so it's dangly, because I used to like dangly things. And and this is, well, I wrote that it's a Green Witch grimoire. Is that how you say it? Grimoire? Grimoire? No, I think it's grimoire, isn't it? A Green Witch grimoire. Because I fancied myself a few years ago as a Green Witch. Because I still am a little bit. I like using herbal remedies for things like, you know, insect bites, or I like making teas if you can't sleep, or things like that. And I made several different things. And it's a bit of an art book, but it's all about witchy type stuff, I guess. I just wrote what the sun represents and what the moon represents, and then did this art picture of this girl. I hope this is all in frame. I've probably been crooked the whole time, haven't I? And the light's not the best because it is night time. Yeah, so that's the best I can do, guys. Sorry. But yeah, it's looking a lot darker than it is, you know. This is my husband sleeping, and some rose quartz that I drew. Because rose quartz is calming and soothing. So I wrote that down, and it clears the head. My husband always has a terrible time at sleeping, so we had that next to the bed for a while. And then, of course, about lavender and lemon balm, and then just a nice portrait here. And then I did this one. This is Flora, the goddess of flowers. And yeah, she is a real goddess. She's goddess of flowers, is Flora. And she's also the goddess of wheat and other crops. And a temple in Rome was built in her honour. So I just find out about certain things and I write a little bit about them. Bit of mixed media art. And then here I've got all different teas. So tea for nervousness, cold and flu tea, insomnia tea, tea for relaxation, meditation, that sort of thing. This is all acrylic paint. And then I have this beautiful girl here with her beautiful lavender hair. I really love her. And yeah, all about the history of lavender. And then this is my star sign, Capricorn. So I wrote basics about Capricorn. And then this was a page because I had a premonition come true. Yeah, I can't even remember what it was, so I'm going to read it. It says, yesterday I had a premonition and it came true. In the morning, I told Christine, that's my daughter, about the lights going out when I was working retail. That's right. It was an old story. Yeah, years ago I was working retail. All the lights, electricity went out. And later in the day, Christine came home early because the lights went out at her work. So, I don't know if that's a premonition, maybe coincidence. But it was weird that I was telling her about that story the same day that the lights went out at her work. Anyway, so then we have rosemary, about rosemary and the history of rosemary. And that's my rosemary lady. And then we have about reading tea leaves. I've never done that, but I like the art that I did and I wrote about it. And then calendula, which is really good for insect bites and cuts and cracked skin, sunburn. It's a really good herb to have. And then I've got infused oils, salves and balms and tinctures. So this is my picture. I think I got this, something like this off of Pinterest, and yeah, painted this girl. And then got more tinctures here. I was making tinctures for a while, but all my family refused to use them, so I had to chuck them out because they all spoiled. Balms. So yeah, I remember making some balm for my mother-in-law. She actually loved it. About stinging nettles and what you can use them for, because stinging nettles are always around. And then I got into soap making, and then I've got just lots and lots of recipes for my favourite soap bars. So I stopped the art and just wrote that. And then I've got yeah, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon tea for muscle pain. So I did that. Herb cuttings. Just how to take the cuttings and that. And then I stopped. But I've got this whole book full to go. So that is my witchy art journal. Okay, this one here is something different. This one is a manga drawing one. And I remember I borrowed a book from the library about how to draw manga. So this is basically just a sketchbook copying some of the illustrations to try to get the hang of drawing manga. Because at one stage I wanted to draw manga characters and make a manga comic. So yeah, this is just me, yeah, just copying from that book and trying to, this was a tutorial by Mark Criley. He's on YouTube about foreshortening, which is really hard. Yeah, so just doing different legs and shoes. This is a character. This is like a little chibi. And then I wrote what I hate, what I need to do better. This is copied out the book. This is different mouths. This is copied out the book. I think that's my own character. This is my own character. Was character practice. And then different faces, like lovesick, uncomfortable, ecstatic. And then this is a little comic I put together about the crystal ball and let me tell me what your future holds. And what, you're crazy. The crystal ball does not lie. And then it was Kimoko's destiny to save the world. And that's all I did of that comic. And then this is that doodle I had in the first video. I redid it. And that one I redid. And this one, I did a cat one, and that's it. Okay, right, this one here is, I was doing this inspired very much by Heidi Hornsby a few years back, and she would keep many journals like this. So basically this is, you cut out thousands of pictures from magazines. You need hundreds of magazines, I'm telling you, because you never find the image you need at the time. So, for example, this says, for Mother's Day 2018, I got a bottle of chocolate port and a pair of slippers. So I found a bottle here and a pair of slippers. And then I helped Jen with her dog coat pattern making. So I found some patterns and a picture of a dog, and then I put the kids and Ruben made us a huge lovely platter for lunch, and we watched the footy until dinner time. So it's basically what we had for lunch, and it just goes on like that. And you just stick things in here that you did for that day, like message from boss telling us off, which made me cry. I remember that. The royal wedding, boring things like I vacuumed the whole house and dusted, so I've got a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, so this is what I was doing for a few weeks. I think one page, 24th, 25th, yeah, I was trying to do it daily. So, yeah, I've got the dates on here. Sunday 27th, Monday 28th, Tuesday 29th. So yeah, it's good to look back at. And this is another way if you want to keep a daily journal but you don't like to do art but you want to write and you want to collage. It's a good way of doing it. And I just stick this like pull out a couple of pages of the magazine, and then I do a couple of pages, and then I pull some out the original magazine, and then I do some more, just so that the spine doesn't break. So yeah, this is a little letter my husband left me. So yeah, I did this for a little while, and then again I stopped. That's that one. Okay, so this one is one that I still work in, but a little bit differently. This one this is just a normal notebook. Thin paper. I love the sound of it though, listen. Isn't that nice? I draw on it, it's just lined paper. And this is, I was doing the Linda Barry lessons. I bought Linda Barry's 2 books, one about drawing and the other one about comic making. And I just went through and did some of her little lessons that she does. And if you haven't heard of Linda Barry, she talks about that there are no bad drawings, and you know that we should go back to drawing like children because their art is more expressive, the lines are more alive, you know. Children had fun when they drew. It wasn't a chore. They didn't care that it, you know, that the hand had 6 fingers. They just loved drawing. So yeah, it's just about that and some challenges that she does. And there's some other things in here. Like one night, this is a terrible drawing, but one night, you know, I go to bed and I have the weirdest thoughts before I fall asleep. And I thought, what if someone with dementia went into the bra shop trying on bras, and they were trying on all like the double Fs or double, triple, whatever, Gs or whatever. But it was because they had dementia and they thought that they were big busted, but really they only had, you know, tiny ones because they were a granny. And she's like, I'm definitely a double F. So when dementia hits. So it's just weird stuff that comes to my mind before I fall asleep. I don't know. And then she had this thing about just quickly, you had like a couple seconds each to draw each character. And so, yeah, drawing like a child, make yourself into a carrot. So it's a lot of doodling and it's a lot of fun. Draw yourself as Batman. Use 2 hands at once to draw. Yeah, make up a quick comic. Don't even know why I drew this orangutan. So, yeah. I've got writing in here, comics that are made up, more like different shapes to make cartoons. And then I skipped forward, that was from a year or 2 ago, and then I started again this month, and I'm just doing some self-portraits every time I come in here. How do you memorize something? A story. They said, she was talking about hands and how there's been hand printings for thousands of years in art. So if you have a look at caves and that, they always, you know, copy their hand. And then some doodles, and then some of my dog characters I remembered, and I did these. And then some journaling, what I saw that day, did that day. I stuck in these characters. This is me. This is from an old journal that I only did like 1 or 2 pages in. So I stuck these in when I was trying to make a cartoon of myself. More cartoons. Some doodle characters. And then this is more This is my daughter in the salon the other day, in the dog salon, and just not worrying what it really looks like. But this is just a sketch idea so that I remember for when I want to do it in my daily art journal, my proper one with finished illustrations. So this was just a quick doodle of sort of everything that's in the salon. And then I was trying to do a girl with a ponytail, and I'm like, I can't do girls with ponytails. And then I tried to do my husband. And yeah, and then my daughter had a drawer. And then I did some doodle dogs again that I love to do. So this is just something that I pick up. I need to doodle something quickly in here now, and I pick this up if I don't want to do it in my other journal. So I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. This is part 2. There will definitely be part 3 because I have more journals for you. So keep tuned. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so that you can keep up with all the parts. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Please comment below if you like this video. See ya.